An 11-year-old boy is in critical condition after being struck by lightning yesterday.
This happened in Riverview, Florida, just southeast of Tampa.
The past 24 hours have been life-changing for the Stock family of Riverview.
It's just been awful. 11-year-old Levi Stock is recovering after being struck by lightning while he was on a boat yesterday.
The CDC says the chances of getting struck by lightning are less than 1 in a million.
But an 11-year-old Central Florida boy is that one, and now he has quite the story to tell.
So it was a fun day of fishing and swimming, and there weren't that many clouds in the sky, and it was sunny, so I didn't really expect it.
We had done some swimming on Beer Can, and we saw some clouds getting dark out there, and at that time we just thought, it'd be a good idea to start heading in. It was still sunny out, wasn't raining, but we could see the dark clouds rolling in. The afternoon showers are getting ready to start. About the time we were about 100 feet from the ramp, it was sunny out. Ivy was sitting next to me. Kristen was immediately in front of the console. Again, just a small center console boat. And Levi was on the front with the rope getting ready to dock the boat. And it was at that time Levi was struck. And he went in the water quick. Luckily I saw him. His chin went down, kind of like a knockout in the fight. And I'm thankful that I was able to get to him. It just he disappeared on me quick in the water. Fortunately, there was other boats in the area. Our boat was totaled and smoked, and it was just inoperable. I was able to get Levi and then get him into the other boat and immediately just started CPR. They put an AED on him. He was not breathing. The AED did detect a pulse, and right around the time the AED was put on him was when the ambulance showed up, and from that point, he was transported to Tampa General Hospital.
As we were coming into the dock, I was right next to Levi cleaning things up, and the lightning struck. I didn't know what had happened. I just remember Derek screaming Levi's name and hearing him shuffle around and jump into the water. I looked over the side and could see his head going down. There was another boat that came and got him, thankfully, that they were right there. And I kept Ivy kind of off to the side because I did not want her to see what was going on. I didn't know what his status was or what they were doing, so I kept her to the side, and I just remember hugging Ivy and said, we just need to pray. And I started sending out messages just saying, pray Levi was struck by lightning. As I sent those messages, I felt the peace of God come over me. And when we arrived at the hospital, we knew when we left the boat ramp he had a slight pulse, and that's all we were told. It would be another 45 minutes before they came out and said we could see him. During that 45 minutes, we had no idea what we were gonna walk into. When they finally brought us back to the ER room that he was in, I just remember thinking it looked like a bomb had gone off. You could tell they had just started ripping open IVs, bandages, whatever. And he was laying in the bed, and he did not recognize us. He was moving though, and he would cry out in pain. He would wake up every 2 hours, kind of as the morphine would wear off, and just yell out in pain. And there would be times where there'd be 4 nurses holding him down, and around midnight, he started to calm down, and he would wake up, and he wouldn't cry out as much. And it was almost like he was trying to say things. And then it was 2 a.m. He woke up, and he looked at the nurse and I and said, "Where am I?" And I said, "You're in the hospital." And he said, "Why am I in the hospital?" And I said, "Well, you got struck by lightning." And he looked at us like we were crazy, like, "What do you mean struck by lightning?" I just remember feeling so much hope that was his response. It was the correct response of, "Oh, wow, I got struck by lightning. That's not a normal thing to wake up in the hospital having happened to you." The doctors and nurses who came in, who had worked on him in the ER the night before, were amazed at the results and the progress that he made overnight. It was a miracle that God gave us as we watched over those next 24 hours, just his progress and healing.
Only one of us was allowed to stay that night, so me and Ivy, Ivy again was there, that really had seen everything, so we kind of hunkered down in bed together. And since 2 a.m. at that point, I felt like the news just kept getting better. So there was a point on shore where, I really felt God's peace. So I was giving him compressions, and he started changing color on me. And I faintly remember a lady just screaming Jesus and praying. And I just remember thinking that I was okay if he's going to take him, because I knew that he loved Jesus and he was going to go home with Jesus, that he was going to be with him. And I was okay with it. And I just felt this peace over me that, if God's going to take him, I'm going to be okay with it. And I just kept, obviously praying that he could stay with me longer, but I was at peace that I knew where he was going.
Ivy said the same thing that Derek said. She said, Mom, if God takes Levi, he's going to be in a better place and he's going to be healed completely. And when you hear your 9-year-old say that, it breaks your heart. But at the same time, it did, as the same as Derek, it gave me peace. He would be with Jesus and he would be completely healed.
For me, peace is only possible through Jesus. In a world of disorder, and there's no peace on this world that's going to satisfy. I can't imagine being in this situation not knowing CPR, but at the same time, I can't imagine being in a situation and not having the peace of God. Know that, either way this comes out, I'm going to have peace that it was God's will.
I pray that Levi's story, as people hear, will want that and will seek after God and know that they can have that peace also.
So there are moments where I had a lot of pain in my legs. It's nice to have a loving family that cares about me and friends sending me letters to encourage me, and that's how the Lord shows me peace. Just
the overwhelming peace I had of so many people praying, people I don't even know praying, it was just encouraging. Obviously it made national news and hit social media pretty rapidly, and to see all these people that don't even know our family just saying they're praying for us, so it gave me a lot of peace in the hospital. So as we were in the hospital, the news kept getting better and better, and 2 days after the incident, Levi was walking.
I would like to say just how thankful we were for the support of the church and how they rallied around us. It really was an opportunity to show our family and our kids the body of Christ and how they just surrounded us with prayer, with support, anything we needed, and just to know we had a whole army of prayer warriors behind us that really carried us through those days. And we're just so thankful for the body of Christ and what they did for us.
We're the Stock family.
And we know that peace is not just possible, it's promised in Jesus Christ.